You step through the obsidian frame, through the swirling purple vortex. Your world warps around you as you go to the other side, into the nether. The rock beneath your feet feels different to the overworld, each step making it creak in a strange manner. There doesn't seem to be a sky from what you can tell. Lava flows from the roof and down into large oceans of the stuff. Looking further out into the distance, you think to yourself, why would anyone come here? Can you, the average human, without the strength and abilities of the in-game Minecraft humans, survive in the nether? In short, probably not. But let's try to analyze everything you'd have to watch out for if you somehow got trapped within Minecraft's nether. After inspirations from videos like Magic Gum's Civilization videos, and Mikasaka's uploading humanity into Minecraft video, and maybe somehow influenced by those weird Minecraft IRL videos, I've wondered on hypotheticals that could take place within the world of Minecraft, using the lore we've established here on the channel, starting a new sub-series called Lore Hypotheticals. With our first installment of the series, we take a look at your likelihood of surviving in the nether without the strength of Steve that everyone loves to mention all the time. If you enjoy the video, consider subscribing. So, now that you're in the nether, the portal is broken. Let's say by a Garth's fireball. What do you do next? Well, obviously you would want a way out, mining nether gold ore to trade with piglins. However, simply swinging your wooden or stone pickaxe made from the nearby nether woods and blackstone will quickly tire the average person out due to the immense heat. While heat rises, the lower parts of the nether is mostly lava, so the heat is going to be pretty similar all around. There is also the fact that water instantly evaporates if placed outside of a container, with the evaporation point being 100 degrees Celsius or 212 degrees Fahrenheit, which is the kind of temperature you could cook food at. So since we don't quickly burst into flames, something about the way heat works in this dimension must be different to the overworld, possibly adapting to this dimension's way of working over time. Hydration would be your first concern. But surprisingly, there is a way to get bottles of water, through piglin bartering. So your first mission is to collect all the gold you can find, without angering nearby piglins. If not, the fungus may have a bit of water in them, like real life mushrooms. But looking back at the Hoard of the Spore, it's probably not a good idea to be eating them. Piglins and hoglins probably have some source of hydration within the fluids in their bodies, so feeding off of them could be a viable option, if you can take one down in the first place. Food is your next concern. If you can't hunt hoglins or piglins, getting red and brown mushrooms for mushroom stew from the wastes biomes is a good step. They probably won't start growing out of your skin like the Hoard of the Spore, and is pretty safe to collect. So, bartering with piglins doesn't seem too bad, except for the fact that you'll need to wear at least a piece of golden armor. The average ingot weighing 12.4 kilograms, or around 27 pounds, meaning you'd be carrying around at least 2 times of that on each foot with boots, at minimum. As said, swinging a pickaxe to mine nether gold ore would quickly exhaust you, but you'd have to do it to survive. The stuff you can barter with piglins is very imperative, as well as sustaining a sort of relationship between a group. But you should make sure to steer away from their more advanced warriors, like brutes. Don't expect much protection or help from them if you get into dangerous situations. Even if you were to barter with them over a long period of time, the best you'd get is them only tolerating you. After all, it would be difficult to trust anything in the nether, as well as if humans and the villagers have legends about them, they'd probably have legends about you too. The back of your eyes strain as you glimpse through the fog. A migraine shuffles your thoughts into parts as you press your temples in frustration. The exhaustive heat feels like it's seeping into the anemic skin, popping out your veins. A couple of nether bricks are off in the distance, overshadowed by an outline of a giant hut, wavering in the sparks and ash that slowly float in the air. You turn your head backwards, swearing you heard something. Grunts echo just past the fog. A feeling rushes over you, and while questioning exactly what, the standing nether bricks change shape. A snort, a grunt, and a squeal. 3 figures in pigskins approach. One holds a sword, another a crossbow, and the third reloads theirs. You notice these 3 aren't wearing pigskin. They are pigs, each brandishing a pair of yellow-stained tusks. They examine you from head to toe, seemingly pleased by the gold boots you wear. One grunts and offers their hand. You step back. They hold up pig meat, a pork chop. You laugh, knowing how ironic this is. Gold leaves your pockets as you throw it to the floor. The piglin grunts in acceptance and leans over to pick it up. They're wearing some kind of brown skin similar to leather. You drop more gold and receive string, leather, obsidian, and bottles of water. The encumbrance of all that gold finally gone will make traveling much easier. The feeling washes down your neck again. Unsettled and confused, you decide to leave these three alone. Now, where should you live? Obviously, we should look for the best environment for us humans. First, the Solsan Valley is a no-go. Ghasts are a very dangerous threat. Unless you want to go with the chance of being blown up by a fireball to try to hit it back, it's probably not a good idea to be within one's sight, without the proper defenses and weaponry. Also, you have the fact that the biome is also filled with skeletons, which all want to puncture every inch of your body with arrows. Next, we have the Basalt Deltas, which should be an instant no. Aside from the extremely rough and dangerous terrain, being occupied by magma cubes, it's also radioactive, which would quickly give you radiation sickness from being there. Crimson and Warped forests are filled with spores, which comparatively to real-life fungal spores, is a terrible choice if you value good health. So being anywhere in these biomes isn't the best choice. As well as the threat of hoglins and piglins in the Crimson Forests, Warped forests are also extremely dangerous for different reasons. One for accidentally looking an Enderman in the eye, and the fact that warped plants are seen growing out of the skin of piglins, in ways that mirror very gross real-life infections and diseases. So all that leaves you with is the Nether Wastes. The only thing you'll have to get over is the occasional piglin visit, occasional ghast encounter, which can be avoided by hiding in a makeshift shelter of nearby resources, and the constant smell of rotting bacon from the nearby zombified piglins. The sickly red bled into your eyes, forcing you to squint. Towering mushrooms offered a little shade to the lava pooling down another facet. Besides being underground, this place was brighter than you realized, and it was wearing down your energy fast. Sweat poured between your skin and under the damp clothes, providing natural lubrication or film over your seared flesh. The axe in your left hand almost slips as you begin to chop down a couple wood planks. Somehow, a mushroom has wood, which didn't feel quite right. But you saw a pig holding a crossbow earlier, so you feel inclined to forget any absurdities. After chopping the 5th mushroom tree, pain discharges like roots sprouting inside your back. Before you can place a hand to feel what is wrong, you are flung several feet into the air. Suddenly, the pain is everywhere, coursing through your fingers, feet, neck, and back. Power floods your veins as you land on the edge of a cliff. Your body rolls over and hits the ground like an anvil. Fire dances on the floor, bounding to your feet in a flourish. The pain leaves your body, and green fungal growth is distorted in a heat mirage. Hope is withheld, however, as the thing that momentarily caused you to become a bird charges in a fit of fury. You run, callously disregarding your weak lungs. Your well of energy has run dry, and you know that, yet you don't care. Panic sets in. You trip on a small mushroom. Its smell is putrid and worse than your own stench. Awaiting your demise, you stare at the creature behind you. A wild boar, bearing 2 polearms for tusks, forward-facing eyes, and black spiky fur decorating its back. Now you know where the leather comes from. It turns away, scared of something. Perhaps it was the fungi you tripped on. Obviously, it would be very stupid to try and infiltrate a fortress or bastion remnant, mainly because of the blazes that rapid-fire long-range fireballs, undead warriors that in a single hit begin to wither you into nothing, or piglin brutes, which can somehow swing as fast as they can with golden axes, which should weigh a ton just by themselves. For what they would give, compared to what you would need to survive, is not worth the risk at all. Some may argue Blaze is needed for fire resistance, and you would be right, if piglins didn't hand them out in exchange for some gold. Even if you're going out of your way to steer away from danger, danger still might find you. Monsters such as ghasts are still known to rarely appear in or travel to wastes biomes. A silhouette brushes past the sky in faint black paint, vanishing behind a wall of netherrack, completely out of view. Your chest is a paint palette of stains and artful aches. The event from earlier had taken its toll, and you are constantly out of breath. Even the thought of breathing hurts. The spores, something about them makes you sick. Maybe the boar was right to be scared. You keep walking towards the nether brick hut, illuminating the atmosphere in a golden glow. Finally, something to keep the optimism alive in you, if for a little while. Rocks crack under your feet and fall off the cliffside. Whispers haunt your every step. The sand seems to talk without mouths and murmuring phrases you can't quite understand. Towards the house, you feel your spine tingle with anticipation. A scream drowns out the creak of the door. You turn around, frozen. With just enough time to pull out your stone sword, fire rushes past you, deflected by your weapon. The weight means nothing at the pale fade with blood-red eyes. Its cries burrow into your eardrums like worms eating at your brain. A ball of fire flies towards you again. Yet this time, you're already a couple feet away from where it's headed. Inside the house, you cower behind the door. The screams stain your mind with horrid thoughts. You can do nothing but wait. Each passing moment, those cries grow louder. It sounds hurt, almost like it's in a never-ending cycle of pain. Then it disappears, slowly floating away. However, nothing except time will reassure you that you are safe again. So, with what odd shelter you've cobbled together, the resources you've been given by neighbouring groups of piglins, such as food and water, eventually over a long period of time, you would have accumulated enough obsidian and fire charges from them to construct a new nether portal, or to light the one you came through. So after all the horrors you've experienced in this harsh and alien world, you build the frame, light the centre, and step through, finally feeling the fresh breeze and the sun of the overworld beaming down onto your skin. You had finally escaped, but it wasn't easy. You've pressed on through volatile environments. You fought hunger and dehydration. You endured the overwhelming heat and faced terrible creatures. But in the end, you somehow made it. If you enjoyed this new lore hypothetical video type, let us know what we could do next. Big thanks to my good friend Matthew for writing the majority of the story excerpts, and thank you to Wither for additional guidance on lore accuracy. While making this video, the idea at the start of the Nether instantly burning anyone that steps in is interesting, which gives me a unique idea. Stay tuned for the next video where I put this idea into reality. Thank you for watching, hope to see you in another video, but until then, have a good day or night.